All right, all. We've got Coach Bieser this afternoon. You all know the drill. Just use the raise hand feature, and I'll call on you for questions so we can go ahead and get started. Natalie, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, after each series, you're so good at extracting a message from each series. What would you say the message is for your team after this series with Tennessee?
Yeah, the message is, we use the three P's. Do we have enough pride to finish this season out, and enough passion, and can you find that purpose? And we know that there's still 6 games in hand, and we've got to, if we really want something, we got to go after it, and we got to work for it. And that's what I'm hoping that this team they can regroup and come out and finish this thing strong, because what we saw today was not indicative of what we want to see from our teams. We put together a really good first inning of getting out of the jam, but then offensively, we really put together a good offensive inning there of how you play the game, and it looked like things were really going to go in the right direction today. And then all of a sudden, we kind of hit a brick wall, and we don't do anything until the last inning again. But I get it. It's tough. It's been a tough year, and it just felt like we lost a little steam today, and couldn't, really didn't have a ton of fight throughout the middle innings here, and that's frustrating.
Reed.
Hey, Coach, could you kind of dive deeper into those 3 Ps? What are you proud of? Where do you develop your passion? What is your purpose this season?
Yeah, the passion has to come from within. I mean, is this something you love? I mean, what's your why? I mean, why do you play this game? Why are you going out here? Why are you going to the weight room every single day to get stronger? And why do you come out here and you practice for 3 hours a day? And hopefully the answer is because I'm very passionate about this game, the game that I love. And, the pride is that we're playing for the University of Missouri, and we need to represent the University of Missouri better than we've represented it so far this season. And quitting is not an answer. I mean, you're not a failure until you decide to quit. And I don't think any guy on this team is going to quit, but you can't give in. And I felt like there was a little give in today. We got to be tougher than that. We can't give in any circumstance. We're down, whether that score is 6-1, there's still a lot of game to play, and we got to find ways to be tougher during that part of the game to maybe close the score to 6-3, and then we can kind of put some pressure on them. But we never did anything to put pressure on them there. So that's kind of I guess the disappointing part, that I wanted to put pressure back on them in the middle part of the game and see if we could get into that bullpen a little deeper. But their starter, through the best game of his career, possibly, definitely the best game of the year for him. So he did look pretty good, but I don't know if we helped him look good.
Natalie.
You mentioned not giving in. You have another tough series coming up with Mississippi State. What's the steps this week? What do you think you're going to be working on this week then?
Well, just really trying to get guys healthy so they feel like they can go into that weekend and have their legs under them, have everything going in the right direction. This game's tough enough to play completely healthy, but whenever you're dinged up a little bit, you got to get those things taken care of and get your body back in shape to go. So that's the primary focus. But just getting back to the basics of how this program has played the game for the previous 4 years. That we fight hard. We're a blue collar program, and we get after everything, and that's what I want to see in our workouts and practice this week, is that we're just going to get after it. And I tell them all the time, nobody feels sorry for you. I can promise you that. Maybe mom does, but nobody out there else feels sorry for you. We got to toughen up a little bit.
Reed.
It looked like you guys, you obviously scored first, and it looked like you guys might have had some confidence after the first inning. Highs got out of that jam, and then you scored with a little bit of small ball. What happened to the offense after the first inning?
Yeah, the 3-run homer, I think, took a lot of wind out of the sails, but even more so, I think, like I said, Zach was struggling with finding a grip on the baseball. He's out there shaking his head and very frustrated that he just can't have a good feel for the baseball. And that kind of, that kind of bleeds off into the entire team. You know, like seeing him out there struggling. You know, he can be a little less visible in those things, and because there's remedies to that. You know, you come back in, you make sure you're getting some rosin, you get some rosin on your pants so you can actually feel the baseball there, rather than kind of, you know, shaking your head and being very disgusted. But he did that for 2 straight innings, and finally, you know, we got it fixed with him, and he went out and he kind of settled in. It started to settle in a little bit, but he had so many pitches built up by that point that it was going to be tough for him to have a really good day. He needed to just battle through and get us through 5, and he wasn't quite able to do that. So,
Is that a byproduct of the weather, the grip?
yeah, he was complaining about the way the balls were rubbed up, and you know the balls I think get rubbed up the same way every. You know, their pitcher wasn't complaining about it. I don't know if maybe his hands were dry or something. You know, whatever it was, but he felt like he just could not get the right grip on the ball. And you know, for Zach, he's a command guy, so when he doesn't have that feel and he can't command his fastball, he's going to have a long day. But he just needs to make sure he doesn't make that visible.
Tyler.
Coach, you guys were so close on Friday night, and then obviously the last 2 games have gone how they've gone. How do you kind of keep the guys from getting discouraged when a series takes a turn like that?
Well, I think we have to readdress. I mean, the thing that we've got to always do is limit big innings. And we've got to take those 4-run innings and change them to 2-run innings. You know, the other team's going to score, and we just can't give them up in bunches. And that's really what happened in the last 2 games is we've given them up in bunches. You know, we gave up a couple 3 spots today, and it's hard to recover from that. But, you know, it's just continue to fight. That's all we can do.
Reed.
Coach, you guys were, and we've talked about before how you have to be aggressive on the offensive side, and you guys showed it today on the base paths, trying to take a couple bases and sending Torrin Montgomery there at third. Is there any kind of like dread or animosity towards the defensive side of the ball where it's just like, man, we're doing all our best here and it's not good enough?
No, I mean, I think, you know, defensively for us today, I thought we had a couple indecisions over at first base. You know, with Torrin. He really didn't make great decisions on a couple plays that helped, you know, their offense get rolling. And we have to play, you know, like I said, we have to create runs. We have to do those things on the bases. Josh Holt did a good job. You know, we send Torrin in a situation there where, you know, my thought is I don't really want, you know, I'm going to take a chance to move him into scoring position. And if we get thrown out there, that's okay. Cause I really didn't want Luke Mann to lead off the inning. And we'd ended up getting him thrown out at home where Luke had to lead off the inning anyway. But, you know, you got to make the other team make plays. They made a good play. You know, it was a bang play. Quite frankly, as you look at the replay, it's very possible that, you know, he snuck in there. So, but they confirmed the call was there. But, you know, you have to play aggressively. And the problem is whenever you're giving up those big innings and you start falling behind, that loses the ammo for us offensively of how we want to play the game. And we got to take care of every base runner, because now we're sitting back waiting for somebody to run into a ball and hit a home run to get us back in the game before we can start playing the game the way we want to play the game. So just a lot of things have kind of not gone our way, you know, in today's game and many other games that we played this year.
All right. Any final questions, guys? All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you, guys.